What's up, everyone? So today we're going to be doing Libra rising sign, aka Libra Ascendant. So if you're new to my channel, if you don't know what rising signs are, and if you think rising sign is just like a sun sign and it's just your personality, you're wrong, because a rising sign or the ascendant is the first house of your birth chart, and it maps the entire life as to how your education will be, your family environment will be, your children, your husband, wife, your marriage life pretty much is going to be on your career and the social network, things like that, okay? But pretty much rising sign is the sign that was rising from the east, where the sun rises from, during the time of your birth. So let's say if you were born on November 1st, 1985 at 5 p.m. So as you're being born and your full body comes out, and Libra was rising where the sun rises from, that becomes your ascendant. See how simple that is? See how easy that is? Well, so Libra people, Libra ascendant, the first person house, which is a personality, okay, they're very balanced people. It's pretty much what Libra represents. You know, it represents balance. It presents doing everything with, you know, accordance to, you know, where things are at balance, where things are not, you know, shaky. However, Libra ascendant people usually face a very unbalanced life. Why? Because that's their karmic lesson as the ascendant, is to, you know, to arrange things and make them balance. That becomes their life lesson. Okay, so if you think Libra ascendant people are balanced people and that's how their life is, yeah, you're probably thinking about the sun sign or the moon sign, but the ascendant becomes different. Also, these people are very fond of the occult and the mysteries of life, because their first house, the personality, the head is Venus, controlled by Venus, and then the 8th house, which is Taurus, is controlled by Venus. 8th house of occult science, longevity, sudden changes. Okay, so this is why these people are very much interested in the mysteries of life. They want to go into astrology, numerology, aliens, UFO, astral travel, astral projection. They're very much interested in that, you know. So this becomes the first, you know, their personality, what their interests are in life. They're also, you know, love arranging things. They're about architecture. They're about, you know, interior designing, because balance, meaning finding a balance, meaning that you're arranging things in a way where they're balanced out. Okay, but let's find out what the rest of their life is like besides their personality. Now, usually when it comes to their family, which is represented by the 2nd house, their wealth and their assets, you know, the food they eat, all of these things, they're very, very emotionally, you know, attached and dependent on that part of the family, you know, and depending upon how Mars is placed, either it's going to be a negative type of obsession, a negative type of attachment to the family, or positive. But usually, you know, they are very involved in it. They're very protective of that side of the family. They want to be very protective of the side of the family because it's ruled by Scorpio, and Scorpio represents all these things, and they have a very deep sense of emotions towards the family, because Scorpio represents a deep part of the water. Okay, usually also Libra people can hold a family secret, like something might have happened which they don't talk to too many people about, because of the fact Scorpio represents secrecy, you know, secretive things. And since it's a family house, there could be a secret thing in the family where their dad could be in jail and nobody knows. They think their dad died while their dad is, you know, serving a life sentence, or, you know, there is some secret illness in the family that nobody knows except the family itself. So Libra people will have to hide that. And career-wise too, these people usually come from the backgrounds of surgeons, engineers, you know, so army and police side, or the governmental side, which represents police and, you know, the army base, because of the fact Mars rules their upbringing as their upbringing and their ancestral you know, side of the family. So usually their dad can be an engineer, their dad can be a doctor, a surgeon, a pharmacist. So usually they might go with that lineage, and they might too come into that side of the family, but we'll discuss that when we get to the 10th house. Their communication with siblings, with their close family members, with their local people, is very philosophical. They try to find philosophical meanings into these communicative methods. And the reason why is because Sagittarius is ruling the 3rd house of communication. Now, if depending upon how Jupiter is placed, either that philosophical conversation is going to be positive, or it could be a negative, philosophical conversation where, you could be in the Midwest in a white Nazi family, and your philosophical view is to kill all the black people and colored people, and the world will become a better place. So you see how the philosophical views can change from negative to positive, where a positive Jupiter will be like, what, we need peace, we need to love everybody, we need to, have equal rights for everybody. So same ascendant, two different thinking pattern. Family life. Their family life is very disciplined and structured by rules, because it's ruled by Capricorn, Saturn, the disciplined planet. So they can be raised through a lot of structural and disciplined avenues. Like, okay, you're going to do your homework at this time, you're going to be eating your food this time, and then you can play for this time. Like the Tiger Mom thing, that whole news. Like, okay, you're going to have violence lessons now, you have to do this, you have to do this, because if you do this, you're going to get up here. That's what parents want to instill within them regarding the family values. That you have to go by structure, because once you go by structure, you can reach to the pyramid. Now, depending upon how Saturn is placed in their horoscope, either they can enjoy this discipline, and they can find joy in it, and they can find a positive meaning into it, that, okay, my parents are right, I need to do this, this, and this. Or if Saturn is badly placed, debilitated, they'll hate these rules. They will turn against their family at some point. They'll be like, what, your dad, mom, you were like Hitlers. You completely ruined my childhood because of the fact, I had to follow all these laws and rules. And especially Saturn becomes a yoga karka planet for these people, because it's ruling the Kendra and Trikon, meaning it's ruling the house that are inner plates, 1, 4, 7, and 10th house, or the outer, which are 1st, 5th, and 9th. And so Saturn rules their 4th and 5th house, which are known as yoga karka, which you don't need to pay attention to if you're new to this thing. But Saturn is about discipline, it's about structure, and it's about following strict values. So their education, when it comes to education, they have to be very strict in their life. They experience a very, strict rules and timing and schedule regarding their entertainment, regarding their education, their children. So because 4th house is also the family environment, how they were nurtured in their family. So it becomes very scheduled. Like, okay, you better get an A or this will happen. You better keep up your grades or this will happen. And you have this time set to study. And the same thing happens with their children too. They instill those values in the children, because the 5th house represents children, creativity, speculative business. So everything becomes very structured when it comes to these two houses. Their 6th house of enemies, diseases, opposition. Libra people don't have too many enemies, because of the fact these people are in a way kind of submissive, because of the fact it's ruled by Pisces. That's a very diplomatic sign. It's able to adjust. So if your enemies or opposition wants you to be this way in order to fulfill their desires, you do that. Because why? Because your ascendant is Libra. Libra is about other people. Libra is about enjoying things with other people, finding a meaning through life through other people. So, these people, even as an ascendant, their 1st house, their personality kind of struggles with this, because even though they want to do things with other people, the 1st house is originally the house of Aries, Mars. So then that individual comes into play. So usually they do things for other people because they know they might gain something from it. And that's kind of like the secretive side of Libra that they don't want to talk about, but usually it is, because they are thinking about individuality. They're like, okay, me being with a group and helping people, I will succeed. So when it comes to their 6th house with opposition, they are able to, say, okay, you want this, let's do this. But in the end, they want to get something out of it, and that's why they will do this. Okay. Their marriage, again, marriage is the partner, whether husband or wife, is going to be quite opposite of their personality. This person is going to want to instill individualism because it's ruled by Aries, Mars, their partner. These guys are very soft-spoken. They're very, just balanced and kind of quiet people, but their husband or wife is going to be very aggressive, very, very agile and energetic in their approach to life. and they want to tell them that, look, stop trying to look at yourself through other people. You need to be yourself. So they usually find a very aggressive and, very athletic partner, like somebody who's out there just, wanting to be that bold husband or wife for them. Now, their 8th house as well, the house of occult, house of longevity, house of sudden changes, their in-laws, the wife or husband's family is also ruled by Venus. So what happens is, especially in Venus Dasha, if you don't know what Dashas are, look at my video what Dashas are. In their Dashas, they usually can suffer a lot of major changes, a lot of sudden changes from negative or positive, positive, negative, because depending upon the Venus, how Venus is placed, they will have sudden, let's say Venus is positively placed, they will have sudden change of their fortune. Through marriage, they will suddenly get, a lot of money, a lot of gains. In Venus Dasha, they become very spiritually inclined, especially about the occult science. In their Venus Dasha, things happen where they want to know about the mysteries of life, or they really indulge themselves where that can also actually become their career as well. So 8th house bring these sudden fluctuations in their Dasha, but if Venus is well placed, overall it's a positive change, because Venus also rules their ascendant, their life. So Venus doesn't want to hurt that. Okay, the Venus doesn't want to hurt their chances, but the sudden changes could be positive if Venus is well placed. If it's not, it's going to be sudden fluctuations of wealth. They can lose wealth, all of these things, but other factors have to come into play too. These guys are known to be travelers also, because their 9th house of travel and higher philosophical education is ruled by Gemini, Mercury energy. Gemini energy, that wants to be everywhere. So first of all, they love traveling, but also they want to bring in, higher, they want to bring, I don't know how to say that, they want to bring the higher philosophical conversation into their everyday life. Because Gemini, which is the original 3rd house, it's your everyday communication. So their everyday communication becomes very broad and philosophical, like their original 3rd house as well, which is currently is ruled by, the philosophical Jupiter. But when they travel, they love making conversations with people about philosophy, about, all the things of higher learning, higher education. But, because of Mercury, they want to be here one place, they want to be there the other place. Career, ruled by Moon. Cancer rules their 10th house of career. So this is why you can see these people in field of hospitality, in field of serving other people, in field of providing services to other people, diplomacy, diplomat in politics, because Moon also represents politics. But again, because of the 2nd house, they usually can become, go into the medical field. They can become pharmacists. They can become doctors, dentists, surgeons. They're inclined towards serving others. Because remember, the ascendant is about other people. The Libra is about other people. The 10th house of Moon, which is about serving, nurturing other people. That motherly nourishment. And that usually comes being a nurse, being in the field where you provide services. Their social circle, their gains, okay, are very much based on their ego. What the Libra people want to be like is that when they go into a party or their friends, they want to have that, that brightness among them. They want to kind of be the center of attention when it comes to their social circle, when it comes to, their gains through social circles. So they can have an ego when it comes to their, friends and all these professional networks. Like they want to be known as somebody who is important because they want to gain through them. Through ego, they gain because Sun rules the 11th house where Sun is ego, where Sun is your pride. Okay, so while showing their pride that, look, I'm important, be my friend, and through that they gain, because other people who see their brightness through the 11th house of networking, they're like, oh yeah, you want help? Let me help you. I got this connection, that connection. What else do you need? So these guys actually kind of perseveres, especially when Sun is well placed. Okay. And the 12th house, which is ruled by Virgo, and 12th house, I should actually do a video on 12th house because there's a lot of misconception out there. 12th house necessarily isn't the house of losses, meaning the loss of financial wealth. 12th house literally means giving your energy away. This is why it's a house of spirituality, donations, and bed pleasure. What is bed pleasure? Making love. What are you doing? You're giving your energy away. You're exhausting your energy. When you give donations, what is that? That's loss of something of you, whether money, your clothes, your own services. Being a social worker, feeding people, you're letting your energy go in the 12th house. But these people kind of become very calculated about who they give the service to. And so internally, externally, they might not look like it that they are thinking this way, but internally, they're like, okay, if I give this much money into this temple or mosque or church, what will I gain from it? Because Virgo is about calculation, the Mercurian intelligence. So the intelligence comes into play that, okay, if I give this person my energy, what am I gaining? Or should I give this much or how much? Even though if I'm not getting anything, then how much should I give to them? This much energy, that much energy. So they're very calculative about their spiritual donations. And even since Virgo also represented intelligence, these people are able to tap into their dream world, their spiritual world, and very intellectually. They're able to connect with that. And because their ascendant, Libra, represents the 1st and the 8th house, personality, and the house of the mysterious world, they have that intelligence to gain those things. Okay. So guys, this was my analysis on the Libra ascendant, Libra rising signs. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're new to my channel, subscribe above. If you want to know more about astrology, check out my link below.